You are one of the other principals. And when I say you, I mean owners. So, please keep that in mind. What additional staff will you employ? What training will you provide staff? Very important in healthcare. Very important. There are mandated training sessions that must take care in childcare, healthcare, and other industries. What outside resources will help support your operations? Once again, remember at the beginning of the training session, I was explaining to you the importance of networking and developing resources. That is very important because it's not foolish to put in there regularly attend chamber networking just to make sure that my network of professional resources stays intact. I will keep on retainer an attorney, although when I pay a monthly fee, I will have an attorney on retainer. I have a business consultant readily available through the Small Business Development Center. Put those things in your plan. How will you manage growth? Very important, very important. Some businesses actually fail because they grew too fast. Look what's happening in Lake Charles, a perfect example. Growth and a lack of growth, both are just as dangerous. Okay, so stagnation and growth are both dangerous. If you're the sole employee, now this is one I get a lot. If you're the sole employee, then you need to demonstrate how you are capable of being the sole employee. How can the business run? How much knowledge and resources that you have on hand so that you only need to be the sole employee? If you run a one-person operation that is pretty simple, straightforward, it's small, and you can reasonably do anything, I'm not telling you that that's bad. That's great. But be able to communicate to someone reading this plan why that is great. And then don't be afraid to say, I can run everything on a daily basis, but every quarter I have a CPA on hand to review all my books and make sure I'm doing everything right. Okay? Which is what that is. Organization on key management personnel. Once again, you know how we said who's going to do what? You need to be able to clearly tell their title, what they're going to do. And if the company is of a sufficient size, do an org chart. Graphics are really good, and we can help you do that. We have org charts galore, so that's not a problem. If you don't have one, tell me, send me an email. Maria, I need an org chart. I'll send you an org chart. You just fill in the names. You can manipulate it, change it the way you need to do. But sometimes if it gets too complicated, an investor or an interested party, they're like, wait, what are they saying? Isn't this person doing the same thing as this person? Or, those titles seem really, well, if you have it on an org chart and you show where over here you have this person that's over this staff, or these duties, and then over here you have this person that's directing a totally different function, the titles may seem similar, and maybe in words I'm not conveying to you exactly how it's set up, but if you look at the chart, you can see it. Sometimes for some people, that graphic speaks volumes, okay? And this makes me realize for the next presentation, I'm going to put an org chart in there. And if you have, sometimes we have situations where people will work for an organization and they say, you know what, they just are not doing it right. We're going to go start our own organization, we're going to do it right. If you have that kind of situation where you've had people who work together and they're being formed into this new organization, talk about those past experiences. Now you have to be careful not to mention names of previous employers. We're talking experiences here. Maria, Alfred, and Heather have worked together previously to develop course curriculum for major universities in the area. I didn't mention anybody's name. All I said was that we three have worked together to successfully develop a product that was readily received by our customers. So you want to say things like that. Remember, brag. It's the one time that it's okay to top yourself. Okay. Other investors, if applicable, if for any reason, this means that let's say you start up a business, right? And you know kind of like how much you need, and then you have a colleague over here that you discuss with it because you know that this is a person who readily, because this actually happens, this person readily invests in ventures that he or she feels has potential to be profitable. It's considered an outside investor. You want to discuss that outside investor. You want to discuss how much they're contributing to you and what they receive what percentage ownership or share or stock or whatever that they receive in return. It's common, banks don't shy away from it at all. It's common, it's normally done in business. And you'll be surprised how many resources there are in Central Louisiana of private equity investors. There are numerous. It's just a matter of networking, identifying them, and presenting your business plan or your business idea. And some of them are to the point where if you just, they'll discuss it over coffee. So you're supporting professional advisors and services. It's like I told you earlier, put them in there. Actually put them in there. Like actually put, my banker is so-and-so such and such at Red River Bank. Here's her phone number. My insurance agent, State Farm Insurance, agent name, so-and-so such, phone number. Put them in there. Put everything there. If you retain their services, they don't mind you putting them in there unless the investors know this is a reliable person who's helped me. Business consultant, they love to see. SBDC, business consultant, Maria Miranda, they love it because we go through rigorous vetting before we are allowed to be a business consultant. So they know by the products that we produce that we know what we're talking about. If you come to my office, I didn't say this at the beginning, but for startups, I have the very difficult task because sometimes people will come to the office with a business idea. And they'll tell it to me, and I'll sit there and I'll listen, and I'll, unfortunately, this, I really would not advise in a professional level that you enter this industry. I don't see how it would be profitable for you, and I don't see how it would service your identified market area. It just wouldn't. Almost all the time, they argue with me. I am the most hated individual. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, I don't know how you got to be business consultant. They just hate me. And some of them tell me, well, you know what, it's my money. It's my money. And if I want to throw my money into this venture, I'm going to do it, and you and nobody else can tell me any different. And you know what my response is? You know what? I'm telling you in my professional capacity, I have been a small business owner for in excess of 12 years. I come from a family of successful small business owners. Fine. If you don't want to take my advice, I want you to sign here telling you that I advise you against entering this venture. Because I'm telling you, based on my experience, there is a 90% chance that you're going to lose every penny you put in and then some. But if you want to proceed, sign here and I'll help you do your business plan. Because you know what? I'm tax funded. I'm paid with your tax dollars. But I refuse to sit here and enter into a relationship without you fully understanding that I think that you are setting yourself up for failure. And I have no problem telling you that. So I'm very blunt and very honest. And that's just the way I am. If you don't have enough assets and collateral, I will tell you, you know what? Your credit looks great. Your idea looks great. But we need to bulk up basically your cash basis. We need to pump that up a little bit because right now, you need at least 20% down. 10 to 20%. Best case scenario, 10%. Best case. Veteran, clean credit, good assets, good capacity to repay, 10%. Okay, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Should we include the address and phone number of our professional advisors?
I would say just the name, the company, and the contact phone number or email address.
Okay.
But the physical address in this day and age, usually they'll pick up the phone, it's just more, unfortunately. I'm like you, I like face-to-face, but most of the time they just want to shoot an email, make sure that, and they want to know who they are. And any other professionals that you think that you would need, because sometimes depending on the industry that you go into, that you enter in, you may use a restaurant specialist or you may use a hospitality specialist. If for your particular industry, there's another professional that you consult with on a regular basis, then of course listen. The reason for that is you're trying to reassure the bank that you are knowledgeable enough to know that you need resources and that you can't do it all on your own. Those professionals supplement your areas of weakness. That's the point of that. You have staff, you have management staff, you have yourself with your expertise, and then you have professionals that will kind of pick up the pieces for you, bring them all together, and help you see that overall picture as often as you need it. You know, so you're well covered, you're well insulated, you're well padded. Now, what's on? You want to take a break now? Y'all want to take a break? Anybody need a break right now? Because we're about to go into the financials, which is the hands-on flyers that you have here.
And then all of a sudden, I just spotted it. I said,
You should have texted me. No, I just put my phone number.
well, I did call the number that was on the email. And no, it probably did, but I just on that number, and it went to like the office, I guess. It was like the office.
Yeah, it's the office.
But I mean,
Look,
look, I kept saying that, I needed to see that part, but this, I can go back and read. Because I really didn't understand that part. Oh, okay. Well, see, the last thing, it said something about this usually lasts, and I was going, well, why is it?
You're gonna see, it's actually, it tells you your executive summary and everything. And so like, you know, how you apply for a job, you see your resume.
Sure, yeah,
transcript, and all that. And then you do your permanent.
Yeah, do it on the back.
That's kind of the same thing. This is like a resume.
So when you, this is just an outline, but basically it's gonna look
I
like,
think I did, just
Right.
because you
like a
wanted to.
resume sort of thing. I mean, it's not gonna be. Yeah, but I thought it was like, I think I saw this.
Well, if they're, you're,
Oh,
I'm gonna do it for friends and family.
This must be a couple pages long.
because I didn't say that they come pulled up, it looked like this, and I said, well, yeah, I think I had that in that other packet from the
Now,
last.
I'll email it to you again, because that one is right here, and it tells you the executive summary last, and it tells you all the different parts, and yeah, that's what I say that.
Was this,
That's what it is.
was this in the front of it? I mean, was
No,
that?
I sent that to you by email.
Oh, okay.
This was in the last packet from the last the last meeting.
I thought I had it. I thought you did it to you, but you know, maybe I was, I don't know, maybe we get confused with this.
Yeah, might be, that's why I tried not to do it.
But I was wondering if you was gonna put up like a sample, you know, if y'all have like a sample, like a fake link. Okay, so that's, okay.
I sent it to you. It's a sample, I'm sure about it. I started kind of like, I think it was my next thing.
That's my market mistake, why?
Hey, man, how are you? That's good. How's it? Always. I'm telling you, always. Everything's going good though? Yeah. Really? She didn't make a lot of noise. The Lord in the ear.
How you been doing, sir?
They really, really need to.
Your oldest daughter, what's her name?
Our oldest, the one you know is Amber. Amber has graduated. Amber? Amber has her BSN, she's an RN at Rapids.
Yeah, I knew that.
So, the oldest one is teaching second grade right now. So, make a long story short, I'm finished.
It's brief, it's reputation, it's the prior.
The one that went wrong with the flood, she lost her car, so I had to. You sound like her. That car had about almost 200,000 miles on it, but she said it was paid. So I hope her find another car.
Oh, that's a good deal. Yes. It is, because you get to, set you up, we try to make a network, whether, cost.
She's teaching second grade.
Make sure that you spend as little as you possibly can.
Paul, yeah.
So they had a lot of.
Oh, shoot. Almost all the properties. The water was up to the top of the car, the parking lot. And it was on the bottom of the car, water line in the
Very
car.
good.
But where she stayed, well, where she stayed, it was up high. And we,
Then, I don't
the
know.
only reason we got in the house is because people dropped the water line.
industrial.
Treat for the mile.
I've been going there and
One side of the house. Across from one More trees, you wouldn't imagine. It's a nice size tree.
And when that any trees, I have one tree in my yard, and that's from the property.
that's what I like.
She said, well, you plant trees down
But I pay for the shade, you got my tank.
I just don't worry about the roots, it's my foundation.
You know what's. I'm getting ready to cut some old one. I got 13 of them. Bought, get it.
One of the ones that
Yeah. Let me tell you, that's what the weather for us.
We didn't get old, they're free.
but I'm gonna just roll down.
You just stand there, we're gonna try to have something in June. One of those numbers that they Well, that's my baby. I don't, I just got my certification yesterday. I want to see if you can talk to us. I was hoping to win this. I've been watching, I think. Yes. I knew that. Yeah, so I'm trying to do the best I can to send it.
When I went to get cards, I noticed I had his hair. I had when is your
Okay, so one of those, like, he was on top, but he's like, oh, this is good.
We live north of Hall. Yeah, I've lived there since 1980. Robert lives off of Ferry Road. Yes, his wife and him, yeah.
Okay.
I go by there, and I see the thing.
That's right. But Lonnie
Would you write your name?
And go back every day. That's what it
You're
is.
still finding it on the sound.
For me to remember.
Everybody like that. Say that.
81, I mean, 70 is when he got.
I don't remember the time.
Let me tell you something. He did not sit in the 24 years. I mean, they lost all of his sickness and health.
I really want my dog, I want my dog.
Now, she is not here, and so he, because they seem to be very, and are the worst part. After 24 years, she contacted us through email.
I'm not talking about Joe, I'm talking about you.
And when we found out what was done, it was she locked that child when
Just living out of
everything
danger.
is happening. She was put in her room. And she was saying prayers.
I want some.
But the judge would never gone to find me. I mean, we spent thousands of dollars. And we finally, and
And that can be.
she
Early on, there.
told us the stuff. And I mean, nothing just
Very religious people.
Your license mature. Everything,
you know,
and
My
so
little
you're
brother,
not.
never came from
It's so powerful. You gotta do it good. So we had that.
she just, and let me tell you what, we went and saw her. Yes. Do you know what she became? Oh, yeah.
To start. How big?
I want to start off collecting my stuff.
Were you
We don't put it on that. We don't put it on
and by the way, it's
like, don't worry, not everything with you, everything's here with you. I'm like, okay. Because, you're like,
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, we finance my daughter's course, we went to
Just sit down, bro. Let's go sit down.
You know what? You're lucky I don't treat you like this, you treat my friends. Just
I don't wanna go there, I don't wanna go back to school. No.
You know how many schools I got put out of?
Greg was.
As bad as your children,
Huh?
you're as bad as your students.
When you teach EBD, you act.
Okay, y'all, we're gonna get started again, we're gonna pick up the financial plan. Heather asked me to let me know that she stepped out for a few minutes because some of our people got lost. They can't find the chamber, so she's gonna try to find them. And then she's gonna come back, and when she comes back, she's gonna pick up the 2 forms that she asked you to fill out. These 2, she's gonna pick these up from you when she comes back, okay? Okay. All right, so now we're gonna go over the financial plan, and that one is gonna utilize these financial forms that you see in the right-hand side of your folder. This is when we're gonna start using this. And also Heather had put out for everybody this big loan one. And I have to tell y'all, out of everything that's in your packet, this one is so useful. This one is so useful and so important. As a matter of fact, that's based on feedback from our clients. They actually do. They come back and they say, if I had just had this when I started, or before I started doing all this, it would have saved me so much time, effort, and money. So I really do like this big one. It's called the Total Asset Needs Scale. But let me take things in better order. Okay, so our financial plan. A good financial plan details how the funds that you are requesting or that you have on hand. Because let me emphasize now, you need to do this whether you're self-funded or whether you're seeking outside funding, okay? The reason why you want to do it, whether you're self-funded or seeking funding, is because you need to be able to monitor what you put into the company already to get it started. And then you need to monitor on an ongoing basis how your funds are expended and received. So it doesn't matter if you're in business or if you're starting a business, you still need to try to do this, okay? It generally answers the questions of what will it cost to start or expand the business? What are your fixed monthly costs? What are your sources and uses of financing? Because banks and lenders, investors, they do look at how you use money, not just what you have, but how you use it. In some instances, just because you're profitable and you're continuing to stay in the black doesn't always mean that you're a good credit risk, because it depends on how you use and what you have. So you understand what I'm saying? Be good money managers. Always have good financial control. A very good mentor of mine always says, the secret to being successful in life is to always spend less than what you have. And that is true. That's in the simplest form, that's finance. Always, no matter how much you have, spend less than what you have. And do you have enough capital? And you see at the bottom it says, don't feel bad if you struggle with this part. Most business plan writers struggle with this piece of the business plan, but SBDC consultants have tools to ease the pain in developing this part. I actually, for my clients, I will actually tailor this to their particular business, like if they come in. And that's what I was just sharing with one of our participants. I said, 2 hours to try to do a workshop is really challenging for me, because when clients come in the office, I can spend an hour to an hour and a half just doing the business description. Because I actually sit down and it's one-on-one and I help walk you through it. Because some people need you to help stir those ideas in their head and generate ideas. And like they know what's in there, but they just don't know how to get it out. And so you can spend quite a bit of time with them on just that one. The financials, usually we take a couple of sessions for us to just go over this. Because most people, we need to tailor it to your business, and we need to talk about it, and okay, so this is what you're thinking about using for this startup, but is that feasible? Well, let's look at getting some cheaper alternatives or less expensive, because look how it's affecting our bottom line. So really, we work together on this a lot. So source and use of funds. Remember, you want to be specific. So you want to give the specific uses, where these come in, right? For the money that you will be using. You want to tell what the sources are. Remember that outside investor that we talked about? Don't just put on that you have $40,000 of funds that you're getting infused into the business. Tell where you're getting it from. And any collateral and its corresponding value. This is one that I tell people all the time. Don't just put on that I have real estate holdings. If you have real estate holdings, what's the estimated market value? You need to give a market value. If you have a good relationship with a realtor, you need to go to your realtor and you need to say, but I'm a licensed real estate broker too. I've been around, I'm And so for a lot of my clients, I'll actually help them with that aspect. So that's what I'm saying, to just sit here and say, okay, let's do a workshop. I actually help them with that. If they tell me what type of real estate it is, where it's located, what's the use for, then we can sit there and I'll say, okay, well, let's put this right now, and then we'll zero on it, we'll pull some comps and get more accurate, but I'm thinking it's okay for us to put this value right now. So we do that kind of things. One-time cost, okay, if you look at your total asset need schedule, okay, that's this big, long one. If you look to this side of it, okay, these are your startup costs. These are one-time costs that you will expend in the business. If you've already established your business, try to go through and say, especially if you just started like a couple months ago, go back and look at it, because that's still what you invested in the business, right? What I'm getting at is, once you do your financials and they're set and they're accurate, you may not need financing now, but you may need it later. Is it easier for you to do this now after you've been in business for a few months, or after you've been in business for 2 years? Okay, so that's what I'm trying to encourage you. Even if you don't need financing per se, still do it. It's very good. You can even do it on this sheet. This is the actual form, so you can sit down, do it in pencil, and then come in and say, hey, Maria, this is what I did. I want to put it in electronic, send it electronic. Fine. I'll sit there and enter it with you, and I'll tell you, you missed something. You missed something somewhere because this doesn't look right. For your line of business, for these costs that you have, this is not right. Okay? Same thing for over here, where you see your monthly costs. If you are able to determine your monthly costs pretty accurately, you've been in business 3 months, you should be pretty accurate on it, then you know what you expect to expend every month moving forward. If that fluctuates, varies in any way, you can say, okay, wait, what happened last month because my costs are off? You can monitor your business better. Or you can look at it and say, man, my inventory and my sales are tremendously, and look at how many orders we're not making. What's the deal? I need to expand. I can be making more money. I'm not meeting demand. You can tell by your costs, is what I'm trying to get at. Also, if you're a startup, the importance of this is, what you see down here, this bottom line number, okay, that's your startup cost. You go to a lender, the lender's going to ask you, how much are you borrowing? Of that $100,000 that you borrow, how much is startup costs? Well, if you've done your homework and you have your sheet, you can tell to the penny what percentage of that is startup costs. If they say how much you're asking for in working capital, that's this. Working capital is the funds that you need the bank to loan you for the few months that you need to get the business able to support itself. Most people, it's 3 to 6 months. Most businesses, it's 3 to 6 months. So if you know